Finally, we are back to the thing every football fan lives for, real NFL game day action. Tonight, it all kicks off with one of the most anticipated matchups to open the 2025 season. The Dallas Cowboys hitting the road to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. This is not just a regular season opener. This is the clash that sets the tone for the entire NFC East and immediately gives us a glimpse of who is serious about making a run and who still has questions to answer. The Eagles enter this matchup with strong expectations, and the buzz around the team is real. Philadelphia has been built on consistency, and their roster is in excellent shape. Heading into Week 1, on the other side, the Cowboys are coming in as heavy underdogs on the road, but you can never count out a team led by Dak Prescott, especially when he has a track record like his against divisional opponents. Dak has dominated the NFC East over the years, and while the Eagles are formidable, the Cowboys have always found ways to make games competitive, even when the odds are stacked against them. When it comes to injuries, both teams are looking solid. For Dallas, the news is almost entirely positive. Trayvon Diggs is active and ready to play, which is huge for a defense that relies heavily on playmakers in the secondary. Tyler Tongue and Brevin Spann are both clear to go as well, meaning the Cowboys' frontline depth is intact. The only minor concern is Peyton Winfrey, who is out due to back stiffness, but he is a second or third string defensive tackle, so it shouldn't drastically impact the rotation. Philadelphia's injury report is equally clean. Key contributors like Andrew Makuba and Landon Dickerson are expected to play without restrictions, though backup quarterback Tanner Muck is sidelined with a thumb injury, which won't have a major impact given his role on the depth chart. The Eagles have a fully healthy defensive core with Jalen Carter and Josh ready to make an impact. Both rosters coming into this opener in near-perfect shape ensures that what we are about to see will be high football, a true test of schemes, talent, and coaching. Speaking of coaching, one of the most intriguing matchups tonight is not just Dak Prescott versus the Eagles' defense, but Dak versus Vic Fangio's schematics, of course. You also have to factor in Brian Schottenheimer, now leading the Cowboys as head coach, making his first regular season appearance in charge. There's a lot riding on this game because it's the first real test of how the Cowboys' offense performs under new leadership. Dak has been dominant in this division historically, going 33-8 in his career against NFC East opponents, including 9 for against the Eagles specifically. But statistics only tell part of the story. Dak has faced Fangio 3 times previously, once with the Bears, once with the Broncos, and once with the Dolphins, and the results were mixed. He averaged just 7.7 yards per attempt in those games, with completion percentages dipping lower than expected. And while the touchdown-to-turnover ratio was serviceable, he clearly encountered problems breaking down Fangio's zone-heavy defensive schemes. Philadelphia's potential use of high shell coverages, especially cover 6 looks, could present challenges for Dak, testing his ability to read the field quickly and find the right targets under pressure. Beyond the quarterback duel, another storyline to follow is how the Cowboys handle starting slow, a theme that has haunted them in past season openers. Philadelphia under Nick Sirianni has historically come out strong in Week 1, going for 2-0 in openers during his tenure. The Cowboys, conversely, have had mixed results, winning their last 2 season openers against struggling teams like the Browns and the Giants, but falling short against stronger opponents like the Buccaneers and the Rams. The pace and energy with which the Cowboys start tonight could very well dictate how competitive this game remains in the second and third quarters. There's a clear lesson here. If the offense does not click early, the Eagles' well-coordinated attack is likely to exploit mistakes and dominate the flow of the game. One of the most exciting individual matchups revolves around the trenches. Jalen Carter on the Eagles' side is a force, arguably the most disruptive player on the defensive line. He creates pressure, forces adjustments, and can completely alter a quarterback's timing. The Cowboys' rookie Tyler Booker, a first-round pick, will likely face Carter in some one-on-one situations, and the way this battle unfolds will be critical. Pressure on Dak from Carter could create turnovers or at least limit the Cowboys' offensive rhythm, especially if Schottenheimer's offensive line struggles to protect the pocket. This matchup isn't just about sacks or tackles. It's about who controls the tempo in the trenches and sets the tone for both the run and passing game. Turning to the secondary, the Cowboys are fortunate to have Trayvon Diggs back, with the Eagles boasting one of the top wide receiver groups in the league. including A.J. Brown and Devin Smith. Having Diggs healthy is crucial. His ability to cover, read routes, and create turnovers could be the difference between containing the Eagles' passing attack and letting it dominate the scoreboard. On the flip side, Dallas wide receivers also present a challenge for Philadelphia's quarterbacks. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens will look to exploit any mismatches, particularly in the slot, with Calvin Turpin drawing attention outside. This chess match in coverage is fascinating because both teams have elite talent at receiver and cornerback, and the way each side navigates these matchups could dictate scoring opportunities throughout the game. The Cowboys linebacker and defensive tackle additions are also worth noting. Kenneth Murray, a newcomer, will have a role in containing the Eagles' running game and assisting in play-action coverage. Meanwhile, Kenny Clark, acquired via trade from the Packers, brings experience and consistency to the defensive tackle rotation. Both players have the potential to elevate Dallas' defensive presence, but it will require coordination and effort across the entire defensive unit to truly contain a balanced Philadelphia offense. Javon Williams is another key figure to watch. His ability to run with power and protect the quarterback will test the Cowboys' front seven. These battles in the trenches, along with the secondary matchup, set the stage for an intense, strategic, and high-stakes opening game for both teams. Finally, all eyes are on Brian Schottenheimer as he steps into his first season as a head coach managing the Cowboys' offense. How he calls plays, manages in-game decisions, and adapts to pressure will be under scrutiny. This is a test of leadership, adaptability, and preparation, as every decision he makes could have immediate consequences in this critical matchup. Against a polished and highly talented Eagles squad, will he guide the Cowboys to a strong start? Or will the team's first real glimpse of whether Schottenheimer was a stroke of genius in the hiring process, or have questions about the Cowboys' offensive performance will persist into the rest of the season? But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The NFL world was sent into a whirlwind of speculation this week when Andy Reid, the venerable coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, unexpectedly showered praise on the Dallas Cowboys. In a recent interview, leaving fans and analysts scrambling to interpret the implications, Reid, who has built a reputation for his loyalty and measured public commentary, appeared almost giddy as he highlighted the Cowboys' strategic execution and emerging talent, commenting on their offensive line cohesion and quarterback decision-making in ways that seemed unusually effusive. The remarks were met with immediate shock across sports media, with pundits dissecting every syllable for potential hidden meaning, questioning whether Reid's acknowledgement was merely professional courtesy or a subtle hint at possible strategic admiration that could influence league dynamics. Rumors began circulating almost instantly, with social media lighting up as fans debated whether this praise indicated a shift in Reid's perception of NFC teams, or was simply an acknowledgement of the Cowboys' recent performances. Analysts speculated that Reid's comments could be interpreted as a psychological tactic designed to either motivate his own team or unsettle opponents, a strategy he has occasionally employed with clever timing in past seasons. The tone of Reid's praise was unmistakably warm, yet ambiguous enough to ignite curiosity and debate among the football community, amplifying every possible interpretation and ensuring the Cowboys were thrust back into the limelight. Adding fuel to the fire, sports commentators began drawing parallels between Reid's remarks and the recent performance trends of the Cowboys, noting that his focus on individual player skill sets and tactical discipline could reflect insider-level recognition of the team's evolving strategy. Observers speculated that Reid might have been influenced by the Cowboys' offensive versatility, their innovative use of wide receivers in unpredictable formations, and the recent effectiveness of their running game, which had managed to carve out yards even against top-tier defenses. The NFL rumor mill surged as debates over Reid's intentions took center stage, with some arguing that this was nothing more than standard professional respect, while others suggested there might be an element of subtle psychological warfare intended to provoke responses from rival teams and their coaching staffs. Media outlets dissected every phrase, every pause, and every nuance in the interview, turning the comments into hours of broadcast discussion, podcasts, and online debates. Fans of the Cowboys eagerly seized upon the endorsement, while Chiefs Fans were left scratching their heads, questioning whether Reid's statement might unintentionally reveal insights into Kansas City's approach to scouting opponents. Across fan forums and social media platforms, speculative narratives flourished, transforming what could have been a simple compliment into a multi-layered story that captivated the entire NFL landscape. The ripple effects of Reid's unexpected praise extended beyond the usual media chatter, as players from both the Cowboys and other teams began weighing in, further fueling speculation and creating a rare moment of inter-team discourse rarely seen in the NFL outside of game-time interactions. Cowboys players, some cautious and others visibly delighted, acknowledged Reid's comments with measured enthusiasm, aware that a compliment from one of the league's most respected coaches could bolster their confidence and reinforce internal narratives about their potential to dominate in upcoming matchups. Meanwhile, analysts dissected whether Reid's remarks might carry hidden motivational intent for his own team, suggesting that by publicly elevating the Cowboys, he could be subtly challenging his own roster to exceed expectations and respond to the tacit endorsement of their rivals. Rumors of potential strategic consequences began to swirl, with some insiders hinting that Reid's comments might even influence future game planning, draft decisions, or inter-team scouting priorities. As the buzz intensified, sports media outlets highlighted historical precedents where similar statements from coaches had indirectly signaled shifts in league power dynamics or hinted a strategic admiration for opposing teams' tactical acumen. Social media exploded with fans creating memes, mock interviews, and playful debates, blurring the line between serious speculation and entertainment, while the NFL itself remained silent, allowing the narrative to grow organically and giving the impression that Reid's words could have unforeseen implications for both teams involved. Even the historical context of Andy Reid's coaching career contributed to the intrigue as analysts reminded fans of his reputation for strategic brilliance, patience, and occasional psychological PS designed to influence opponents in subtle yet effective ways. By praising the Cowboys publicly, Reid may have been tapping into a deeper understanding of team psychology, knowing that such statements could reverberate through locker rooms, influence perceptions of his own squad, and generate an environment of curiosity and competitiveness across the league. Observers speculated that the timing of the praise coming midseason and after several high-profile games was deliberate, perhaps intended to shape narratives in ways that could benefit his long-term strategic goals. The discussion quickly evolved into deeper conversations about interconference respect, with Reid's acknowledgement of the Cowboys interpreted by some as an admission of NFC strength, and by others as a calculated move to subtly reinforce the Chiefs' image as humble yet aware competitors. Media coverage of the event ranged from detailed tactical analysis to opinion pieces questioning whether coaches across the NFL should consider such public statements as meaningful indicators of league-wide respect, influence, or emerging rivalries. Fans and commentators alike found themselves in uncharted territory, debating not only the content of Reid's words, but also the potential ripple effects on future seasons, player psychology, and league-wide competitive dynamics. Speculation continues to dominate the NFL narrative, as the ramifications of Reid's comments remain unclear yet undeniable, prompting a mix of humor, concern, and intense analysis among fans, analysts, and players. Rumors about possible behind-the-scenes discussions between Chiefs and Cowboys staff emerged, though no official confirmation has surfaced, feeding a frenzy of conjecture that only intensified the story's reach. The Cowboys organization, while maintaining professionalism, appeared to subtly embrace the praise, perhaps using it as a motivational tool or as a testament to their growing respectability in the league. Meanwhile, Chiefs insiders reportedly viewed Reid's remarks as an opportunity to galvanize their own squad, reinforcing messages about focus, discipline, and the competitive nature of the NFL. Analysts continue to debate whether Reid's acknowledgement represents a trend of shifting perceptions between conferences, an isolated gesture of respect, or a potential prelude to more strategic interactions in future seasons. Social media discussions, sports podcasts, and analyst panels have elevated the story into a multi-week narrative that extends far beyond a typical mid-season comment, transforming a single interview into a lens through which fans are re-examining team dynamics, coaching strategies, and the subtle psychology of professional football in a league driven by competition and rivalry. Reid's statements have ignited curiosity, speculation, and endless debate, ensuring that the Cowboys-Chiefs dynamic will be watched with heightened anticipation. For months to come, that's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next.